Hello guys, Arkan here. I just want to take some time to tell you guys that we have a Patreon set up for the channel. It's an additional way you can support us. So I will put the link in the YouTube cards and in the description. Thanks for checking it out and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello guys, Arkan here. Welcome to another toe dip. This is Helward, a Tanuki tale by Dangpa. It features a Tanuki named Howl, and after a year of having an intimate long-distance relationship, Howl will finally pursue his romantic interest. Helward is actually the setting of the VN, and it is a fantastical city on the outskirts of hell where magic beings, demons, and folks cohabitate. As the story progresses, more will be learned about the history of the city and the land surrounding it as Howl encounters new friends and even enemies. So let's check out the story. It's dark. Hey, it feels warm. Hey, hot even. It's dark and it feels hot, as if you were basking in front of a temperamental sun. There's no light, however. The world seems void of sensations. Hey. Actually, there is one sensation. Noise. A voice calling out to someone. Hey! Oh, who is this? Dozing off? Dozing off? Were your eyes closed? They're open now. The large figure stares down at the meek expression on your face. Oh, no, I was just... Huh? You alright there, Shorty? Well... You stop yourself mid-sentence, examining your surroundings. They're bizarre, and you should definitely be confused. Weirdly, however, you only feel slightly curious as to your current location. It feels as if you've been here before. What is this place? It's called a restaurant. Ever heard of one? You blink, expecting something to happen, but your surroundings stay the same. Are you sure? You've definitely lost it. I haven't lost anything. It's just, this all feels weird. Well, it has been a second, right? I know I'm kinda anxious too. Too? How assumptive. You aren't anxious, right? You don't argue with this assessment, however, instead staring at the smiling figure casually slumped in the seat in front of you. You're anxious? Rubbing it in, huh? Wanna know a trick? Sure. Sure. Alright, something that's always helped me is closing my eyes. Then, breathing in slowly, holding it, then breathing out slowly. It helps a lot. Try it. They look towards you, bright with anticipation, to see you try. It's not too much of a trick, you think, just a breathing technique. Breathing in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey. There's a voice next to your ear, but you find yourself far too tired to answer it. Suddenly, something wet brushes up against your cheek. What is that? Is it... Oh my gosh. Is it a jick? Hey, what is this? What is what? You okay there, Shorty? Their large figure hovers above you now, wearing a traditional ceremonial garb. Oh, he has a nice body. It's ill-fitting and tight to their person, as if any sudden movement could cause it to snap and fly apart. Which makes sense given who they're typically made for. But that isn't what really catches your eye. There's a painted paw marking on his chest. Hey there, my eyes are up here. Did you get mated? They snicker mockingly at your question. And what's so funny? Sorry, I'm still getting used to it. Yes, mated. No, duh, sure, shorty. You cross your arms sternly. When something catches your attention, you sniff around for a second. It smells of home. This isn't a restaurant. You told me you were good with your liquor. Maybe we should just head back and get some rest, huh? The circumstances of your current situation are unclear, but you find yourself compelled to reject their suggestion. No, I'm perfectly fine. Okay then. The figure pulls their body into yours, heat radiating off their form. You find it to be really comfortable. You reciprocate, pushing up into their bulk, your arms unable to wrap fully around their muscular form. Is this good? Is this a hug? Whatever it is, it's certainly exhausting. In fact, you even begin to pant. Yeah, that's fine. I... Their words are hesitant. You pat them on the back and lick at their cheek. It's all right. Their breath tickles your ear as they lean in closer. I love you. Uncertainty. Who is you, exactly? You aren't sure. Still, there is no hesitation on your part. You know what to say. The soft fur of their neck tickles your nose as your two bodies sink further in. The ambrosia of minty perfumes combined with natural musk fill your senses. I love you. I love you even more. It's not a competition. You only say that because you can't win. Unrestrained laughter escapes your maw as you dig yourself further in their mane. How intrepid of you to mock this titan. While you were brave enough to joke, you easily found yourself wrestled back onto the ground. Their cheeky smile looms above your face. This form of play is quite euphoric. You can't help it as your tail twists about. Neither could you help it as your legs swivel spiritedly under their force. But it proves vain. You're overpowered, just a trapped little trickster. You're so... Oh, you gasp as their thumb finds its way upon your lips. Pleasure and anticipation arises in imagining where this may lead. A smirk and a flick of the tongue, that ought to send a message. You know how to tease them for sure. As soon as your little tongue flicks the tip of their thumb, you find your maw locked in with theirs. A kiss. They pull away slowly. How meager. You tease? Show me how it's done then. Of course, you oblige. No time is wasted as your head twists to align itself perfectly for kissing. You quietly affirm your love again. They release you from your meaty shackles, your hands tracing up across their muscles and working their way around their neck. You pull yourself up and... bap. Ah! You find yourself in a stupor, having been so rudely and abruptly awoken from your dream. That noise, annoying, the irritating, all too familiar sound of mechanical buzzing. Bzzzt. Bzzzt. Peepers open. You find yourself goggling at the wooden surface above. Gah. Guy is right. As the rest of your senses kick in, so does the pain from your intimate exchange with the surface above. Scratching at your nose ought to provide some form of relief and soothe the pain, but the gesture feels alien and strange. Or rather impossible. You attempt your form-defying stunt of snout rubbing. Like some kind of beast, your claws mark the surface above. Shit, the ceiling. Again. You already knew as much from the awkward motion, but you still find yourself clamoring to confirm reality. You glance down at your hand, or rather, your paw. You wiggle the digits around lazily, still half awake. This won't do. You sigh, then begin to concentrate. Pins and needles. It's as if your entire body had fallen into a cactus bush as some deep force arises from within you. It all starts with a thought, then it flows through you like veins. It makes its way to your chest, then the rest of your body. Resonant is what you are, a tuning fork for the innate magical language every living being has in them. That makes it 3 days, then. Your tired thoughts wander. Such lack of focus would hinder a novice, but for you this was as simple as breathing. Incantate, shift, brush your teeth, take a shower, a typical morning. Jesting helps you cope with the nuisance of your random nocturnal conjuring. The mental image forms as ether rushes across your body like a hot shower. In moments you find yourself transforming. Your shift doesn't only bring a different form, but also a different perspective. You expect your body to shrink, but Instead, you grow in size. How odd. Your snout once again kisses the surface above, as you find yourself crampedly close to this surface. Scooch, scooch, scooch. You can feel your fur grow more and more disheveled as what was that? Okay, what happened? Oh, finally, you're up. And hopefully awake too. Did I fall off the couch and roll underneath the table? That's a first. Bzzzt. Alarm, moving day. Early, surprise in morning. Don't forget the suitcase. Bzzzt. Annoying, torturous even. If only looks could kill. Not as if the device is alive anyways. On the screen it reads... Moving day. Early. Surprise him in the morning. Don't forget the suitcase. Finally, now on the screen, you can loosely make out the unkempt mane of some beast. Well, you, of course. A draggle-tailed little thing with a tired face. New markings trail down your cheeks, ones you didn't have the day before. Ones you quickly rub off with the back of your hand. You are a tanuki. Miserable. You've become quite alert. I mean, who wouldn't be, after the bash on the nose and the ringing of the alarm? Your limbs feel liberated, motion born anew within your form. You feel so free. Your tail shoots up in the air, wriggling in fun little circles. Free, yes, because you're nude. A quick glance at your resting area, the couch, tells you all you need to know, as you follow the trail of discarded clothing down underneath the table. You shoot a glance at your wooden partner's wound. Who's the wooden partner? Despite sharing a kiss, you spare no sympathy for the cheap furniture. Clothes bundle up. You sniff them. The smells strike your nose without pause. Thankfully, it being of your own scent stops you from recoiling, but one thing is painfully clear. I smell like a damn dog. I should probably take a long shower today. Wouldn't want the sweat from the long drive ahead compounding with this bestial funk. An extra lengthy shower is the first step of your morning routine, then your teeth. Finally, you spend a fair amount of time grooming, clipping your nails, brushing off loose fur. Finally, frontless, you make your way back to the living room. However, there's something new. You're accompanied by an object nearly a third of your size. I've spent a couple of days making sure to grab everything, so I should be good. Then, hands pressed up firmly against your rear, you work your way down your perfectly groomed tail. The necessities ought to be on my person. There's nothing left to do. The suitcase is stuffed beyond measure with clothing, amenities, and trite baubles. There's no time left to second guess. You heft the suitcase with relative ease, an act that would certainly impress an uneducated onlooker, or so you think. The knob extends clearly in front of you, but you can't bring yourself to reach for it just yet. You feel the need to turn around, just one last time. No one. The place is empty. What did you expect? Still, you give it one last heartfelt look. You're home for the past couple of years. Goodbye, place. Radio host 1. It's 3 o'clock on the east side. The twilight's peeking in, and I've just put my coffee down. How are y'all doing? The beginning of a new week means the beginning of another week of work for most of you. The early morning radio host continues to spout its truisms. Your trip has taken around 5 hours at this point. The monotonous abandoned stretches of country roads are the only scenery to welcome your eyes for the past 2. The radio chimes in with an infectious melody, which you hum along to. You're quite bored. This is the second time you've made this long trip, and you question how you ever achieved it in the first place. Perhaps it was thanks to the music you had streaming into your head through the clip-on earbuds you wear often. An activity a fortunately friendly officer informed you was illegal to do while driving on the road. An activity that you certainly wouldn't do again, not that anyone would be around to see. On top of boredom was also anxiety, not over the trip itself, but a growingly loud ticking noise that had started around 30 minutes back. Tick. I started the machine like she said at least once a month. What could possibly be the matter? Unfamiliar with the inner workings of such a machine, you could only hope this didn't spell misfortune for your journey. But again, tick, even louder this time. Damn machinery! And then, as if out of spite, you begin to feel the vehicle slow down. I take it back. Please, mercy, I have places to be. You beg with the machine, its name working as not just a call for compassion, but a means to personify the vehicle. But it continues its deceleration, unconcerned by your pleasantries or obligation. You let out a low growl, the verbosity of the local folk slipping out of your tongue as if natural to you. You sound like a true native. Fuck me! Although you have not seen a soul for miles, you steer Mercy off the road as to not cause inconvenience for any passers-by. You mess around with the controls, but it refuses to start. Angrily, you scramble out of the vehicle and march towards the rear hood. You place your palm on it as if ready to go to war, but yeah! You let out a yelp as you nearly stumble back onto your ash as burning pain soars across your pads. The vehicle was quite hot. You didn't even know it could get so hot. You mull about it for a moment, coming to the obvious realization you have no idea how such a machine works, let alone how to repair it. You pick yourself up, instinctually licking at your wound. It doesn't take much time for the pain to subside. You ponder for a moment what your options even are. You remember your roommate providing you a number that would help you in scenarios like this one. You open your phone. But the symbol for making calls is grayed out. Thankfully, however, you know that the signal can change with location. You look off into the distance and begin to roam into the field nearby, all the while staring down at your cellular device. What about here? Still, no signal. This will obviously take some time. Several minutes later, you hear something off in the distance. Hurry! You turn around. This your car? You spot a figure yelling off in the distance at you. You nod your head to affirm their question. Need help? I'm a mechanic. You sigh, unable to find a call signal. You head back towards the yelling man. Closer, you get a good look at the man, a bare folk of considerable stature. His left eye is encircled by what seems to be a tattoo. Just by glancing at him, you can tell he is a working man, the black fur of his arms darkened further by dirt and grime. You approach him. He seems startled as you close in, even backing up slightly. In fact, it's as if he's looking up and past you. What in the world? You're some sort of behemoth. Oh, this here your vehicle? Behemoth? Of course, how else do you think I spotted you from all that distance? You're confused. To such a degree, you've lost the original question. The man blinks, then, as if realizing something, he shakes his head and winks at you. Oh, damn. Sorry about that. You needed some help with your car? You pause for a moment. You don't feel any ill intent of the winking bear, but he is a stranger. Although you are in a rough situation, and it's not as if it could get much worse. He opens his eye back up. I don't buy it. Mostly. You have heard the people of the Eastern Ward are quite nice, even if a bit overly pious. You decide to put your faith in this stranger. Yes, definitely. I was trying to call a... Sorry, but I'm not an Easterner, or all too religious. The man interrupts you, as if correcting a record you never set. That's fine, I just need a Yup, I'm a mechanic. Let me go get the toolbox from the truck now. Thanks. The strange mechanic heads off to his truck. You can't help but notice the lazy styling on his outfit, his tail wiggling freely from his pants' tail tuck as they droop slightly low. What a weird fellow. The name's Whitman, by the way. Whitman comes back with his toolbox in hand. He sets it aside as he moves his hand towards the rear of your vehicle. Be careful, that's hot. The words come out your mouth as you notice what the mechanic was doing. Drawing his hand near the surface, he checks the heat of the metal. Thanks, big man. The mechanic says his thanks even though your warning was clearly not needed. You feel naive. You look down at your palm, wishing you could have been so clever. You look back up to catch him smirking as he raises the hood. He looks around for a moment before digging around in the guts of the machine. A couple minutes pass with no conversation to speak of. Awkward. I wonder if I could be of some assistance. Sure. Mind handing me the spanner? You stare at him, confused, and kind of irritated. You roll your head and glance into the toolbox. What exactly is a spanner? Metal thing. Little adjustment on it. Should be on the top. Your eyes dash back up at the man. You judge him up and down, as if attempting to unfold the manner of trickery that's allowing him to reply to your thoughts. Sorry, got a bit of a bad habit lately about cutting people off. He reaches his hand out, beckoning for the tool. Spanner. Uh... We have to choose metallic looking wand, red miniature club, white gum dispenser looking thing. Let's go with metallic looking wand. You reach for the metallic looking wand. The object is cold against your fingers. There's a claw at the top of it. You hand him the tool, cautiously. Thanks. You stand silently as the man toils away at the engine, his eyes focused intently on his activity. You keep your mind still, almost as if to prevent him from reading your thoughts until... So where are you heading? Helward. Huh. What? You don't look like one to me, but... You some sort of demon? No, why would you think that? I'm just a tanuki. He pauses his activity for a moment, giving you a side eye. Well, assuming I don't need to go and see my optometrist, you're a bit more than you put on. What? Though I suppose I don't know much about tanukis. You find yourself unable to hold back from speaking your mind. More than you put on? What exactly are you implying? Also, how did you even spot me from such a distance out in the field? I do not believe I know of any Ursine with the eyes of a hawk. Plus the mind read... Chill there, big man. It's just true sight. I'm a demon, after all. You pause. You didn't even realize this man was a demon. Despite the chatter about them and warnings you'd received since venturing to the wards, you had never given the subject of demons much attention. In fact, even after living for years near a break in the wall, you knew very few demons during your stay in the North Ward. Despite the man's tone suggesting this should yield you better insight, you still found yourself absolutely lost. You were, for lack of a better word, a tourist. Means there ain't much you can hide from me given these eyes of mine. Whether it's that feeling of confusion running around your skull right now, or that modest little form you're wearing, you're lost for words. Realizing you are so exposed brings you much dismay, especially given how easily it was done. No incantation, no etheric object or tome. How did I not know about this? Don't worry about me. Most regular folk ain't got true sight. Just one of the nice blessings I got. But supposing it's a secret, I'd make sure to keep your license and plates up to date once reaching Helward. I got a hunch you ain't one for driving, and the badges down there sport similar equipment to my eyes. It ain't as good as the real deal, but you get pulled over looking like that and get lensed, and they'll light your ass on fire if you ain't got the right papers. That never happened last time I visited. Wasn't exactly legal for them to use it before, but with things ramping up, well, just some friendly advice. Figure out what's best for you, big man. I didn't even realize anyone could just see me. You stare down at your hand for a moment. To you, it doesn't just look like your hand. It feels like it. My deception's good enough to trick myself, and yet... His hand reaches out once again, ignoring your rambling. Hand me the screwdriver if you could. You let out a sigh, refocusing on the task. You've seen a screwdriver before. This should be easy. You look closely at the box. Certainly this. Red miniature club or white gum dispenser looking thing. Of course the red miniature club. This is definitely it. Nice job. You bask in a second of triumph, hearing the mechanic's praise. Some hairs on your tail even begin to stand on end, but the moment quickly passes. Sorry to bring down the mood, big man. It's alright. It's better I travel the wards with such knowledge than not. I didn't even exactly study up, I suppose. I'd rather not have my ass lit on fire. What exactly takes you to Helward, anyways? You pause, realizing the man can practically read your thoughts thanks to his gift. Could you close your eye? It don't exactly work that way. Well, you can tell the man already knows the rest of what you're going to say. Still, he waits patiently for you to finish your sentence. I'm moving there. He's quick to reply. Pretty adventurous coming to Helward all the way from the north. He smirks, glancing back at you. Not that you got all that much to fear, I'd imagine. So why Helward? Lady friend? I see. This line is just like I know you like kissing boys, don't you? The absurdity of being read like an open book is more than mortifying, and you know he's more than aware of how uncomfortable his line of questioning is making you. Still, he is fixing your vehicle. Even then, you can't bring yourself to just go along with what he discovered. See what, exactly? You're gay, right? Annoying. I suppose I am. Yes. Ain't too used to expressing that, are you? Not exactly, no. Makes sense. Obviously got your reasons. Some part of you is happy you did, though. You'll get there eventually. What do you know? You say that as if you're some old sage. I'm only 46. I ain't all that old. Seems pretty old to me. You're doing that on purpose now. Also, I got a man in my life. Oh! Sorry. Yeah, no one told you not to not judge a book by its... Shit! The mechanic pulls back all of a sudden. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm alright. Hand me that rag, quick. He reaches his arm out aggressively. It's covered in some kind of fluid. You can tell whatever occurred, he's not all too happy about it. Grab rag. Demanding. He grabs the rag and begins wiping away at his arms. Shit, he's going to flip. Who's going to flip? Nothing. This shirt's pricier than it looks. Whitman lets out a long sigh as he tosses the rag to his side. Sorry about that. So you're dating some big dog folk? Yet again, you find yourself frozen, with no experience in discussing your relations with anybody but prospective dates or your former roommate. The subject is quite sensitive. I'm guessing Tanukis ain't all too progressive when it comes to all that, huh? But you're in the wards now. Might get a dirty look or two, but the chance of you getting your face bitten off is pretty low. And you got a lot of face to bite, big man. So loosen up a bit. He's right. I'm not back home. I need to acclimate. I have been here for more than a year after all. This could be a good practice. Good outlook there. Yeah, okay. Well, my roommate, she was getting married, so I drove all the way down to Helward to get her something special from a restaurant she always bragged about, as a parting gift. My boy, well, yeah, my boyfriend works at the restaurant, and that's when I met him. He showed me around since the food would take all day to prepare, and we just kept in touch. The bear stares at you from the corner of his eye. He obviously has something to say. Just speak, bear. You love this dog folk, don't you? What? Damn it. Whatever. Yes, I like him. I haven't seen him in an entire year, though. You seem confident about him. I'm sure y'all will hit it off just fine. You really think so? What's he look like? You pause. Your head fills with all sorts of flowery ways to describe his person. You can see me, right? Of course. Then I suppose it doesn't matter then. You pull your tail to your side. Then, as if by some fancy magic trick, you pull out an entire laptop from behind it. The bear doesn't seem particularly surprised. You flip it open, flying quickly to a well-visited picture folder. You sit beside the bear for a moment, showing your screen. Your tail dirties itself as it wags around the dewy grass below. Oh, he's a cutie pie. Sorry, my cellular device has very little storage and isn't good at receiving images, so I keep my pictures on here. I was going to print out some of them, but that just seemed a bit absurd. You point out a picture that particularly catches your fancy. You feel excited, as if showing off some achievement to a parent. This one's really good, too. Wow, he's a catch, big man. I was assuming he was going to be a demon, but he seems like a regular dog folk. You can tell from a photo? Sometimes. He's kind of a sage, and I get lost in his tirades all too often. But that just makes me happy, I guess. That's great. He's also into movies and stuff and writes a little, but mostly he's an amazing chef. Oh yeah, he wanted to be an actor, but... The laptop screen turns off. It seems you forgot to charge it. Damn, I knew I forgot something. As you see your face appear in the black of the screen, you realize how carried away you got. Sorry, I got a bit... You look up at the demon mechanic. The expression on his face is soft and welcoming. I took you to be some kind of strange deity or beast, but you're just a goofy kid, aren't you? I'm far from a kid. I'm nearly 30. I'm sure you two will have a great time together. You grab your laptop, pulling your magic trick off yet again in order to hide it. Before we end the video, I would like to give a massive thank you to our patrons. Your support means more than the world to us. It means the galaxy to us. Check out patreon.com/arkandray07 to be a patron today. Ciao!